Hey, alright, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Still just getting a little situated here, so give me a minute. Hey, alright, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Alright, y'all, just getting situated here, kicking off what I hope to be should be a regular thing here, me sharing my screen with y'all, so y'all can see how I operate here day to day, just day trading. So as usual, going to call out some strikes here in a minute and show you guys what I'm working with here. Real quick, going to pull up, let me see here, this economic calendar real quick, refresh what we got coming up for the week. I believe we have Powell speaking today. Where am I at? Where am I at? There we go. No, not on here, but I saw someone talking about it. Let me see if they got it over here in the Fed schedule. No, just Michael Barr. Okay. Little ISM numbers today. Hopefully should be a pretty chill morning here, at least from the Fed. But alright, y'all, a reminder to those who are in our Discord and in our voice chat over there, I am muted over there so that I'm not coming up double for you guys. But alright, let's jump into some strike selection here. Alright, so we got SPY here, set to open near this 425. Right, we are at kind of closer to some squeeze bottoms here. We got this 4-hour squeeze bottom down here. And if we look over to ES, you know, we're also here in this 2-hour squeeze bottom. And we've got a 1-hour squeeze bottom down here as well. And we're down here near our destination buy zone on our Beast tool, this big green highlighted zone right here. And we've also got the daily 200 here at 43.10. This solid little blue line right here is my daily 200 simple moving average. So we got a couple little things here that could give us some support here at about this 43.10 or so. Just a little bit above a key psychological level of 4,300. Let's see if we end up getting some support here near these levels. Could be this 43.10, maybe with a little bit of opening volatility here early in the session. We come down, maybe take a little crack at this 4,300 and then get that bounce. You know, ultimately though, if we do lose this 4,300 and start to crack under this 4-hour squeeze, we could definitely have us some fireworks here to the downside. Alright, so gotta be careful here. Very tricky spot. We're at some good levels, as y'all always hear me say, to put on some risk, but it's gonna be early in the session. Some volatility could really push us through or really give us a strong bounce here at these squeeze bottoms. So gotta be careful here early on, especially first session of the week, first session of the month and the quarter as well. Alright, so anyway, SPY set to open here, like I was saying, at about 425. Whoops. So gonna keep it tight. Y'all know that I love my 5-point increments. We are at some squeeze bottoms, so you know, a bounce and a run up to 430 might be a little bit far, but we are a little bit negative, so it's not out of the question. And we had some really good volume on this 430 call right here, even if a majority of it was selling percentage here on Friday, with that move down, of course, expecting that to be this way. But that's okay, still a strike of heavy interest, a big psychological strike. Just gonna have it up here at open for now. As always at open, I'm just trying to pull any information I can here from the market and take my time before I dive into a position. So this 430 call here on Friday got down pretty much down to our beast zone right here. Our beast zone, our main zone here is between this dotted teal and dotted red line right here. Right, you can see that this zone is static even through multiple days. And here you can see it a little bit better without some of our other intraday zones stacking on it. But we do love to see these intraday zones like this open range buy zone stack right here on our main beast zone. Right, even more so here on Friday, right? This was Thursday over here, this is Friday here. And we get down to it and catch a little bounce at it and are just kind of hanging out here just above. So today, if we do get maybe that test of that 4,300 here on ES early, right, we could get a little test here of beast on this 430 call. Obviously, we're taking a little bit of damage here pre-market, so we could open right at this beast zone here on this 430 call. But again, got to be careful here near this 4-hour squeeze bottom. And alright, for my other side, always looking at a put as well, trying to pull some information. We are kind of near this 425. Just gonna take a quick peek at it right here. This is going to be obviously higher in value here, especially in reference to our beast zone. Here we go, sorry. Kind of tucked in here. Oh, had its open level right at our beast zone here on Friday. Really strong strike here the entire day on Friday. Opened right at it, held it, held it, held it. Got some really good value out of our open range zone here. Try to hold up at that open range sell zone, got a little support. So let's see here this morning. Should get a little love here out the gate with this drop here pre-market. But ultimately, if we get down and this 430 call bounces here at our B zone, we should then see a nice retest of this put pulling back here and testing our B zone down here. Alright, we'll see what that open level looks like. And let's hop over to QQQ. Looking for something similar. This is kind of a wider spread than I like here. I'm sorry, not a wider spread, but I'm a little close here to price action on the put. I do usually like to be 5 points around current price action. So this 425 put, I might actually open up with like this 424 puts. Kind of like that. Right, always going to be kind of a similar setup here with our beast tool. Right, but it might be something like this 423 put, and I might actually move this call here to about, let's call it like this 428 call. So I try to stay like 2 and 3 points above and below SPY. Same for QQQ here, right? Both of them have a pretty decent ATR now, 5.5 here, or 5.36 here for QQQ, and kind of close to 5 here for a SPY in this ATR column. Right, if you're not familiar with this ATR column, this comes stock with your Thinkorswim. Just hit the little cog right here, look for ATR, and this will give you the average move that a name can execute every single day. Could be more, could be less. We shall see. All right, QQQ real quick, set to open here at about 358 or so. This one's going to be nice and simple. Going to be watching this 360 call. Going to be watching this 355 put. And so again, just looking at like this put here on Friday on QQQ. Similar to the puts we're looking here on SPY, of course, our open level, this thick white dash line, to open up just above our main beast zone here. So not surprised to see we got some nice price action here in this beast zone near this open level. Got back above it, had some nice support here on the retest of both our beast zone and the open level. And got up to our open range sell zone, and not surprised to see a little turbulence here, but we held for a little bit, came back and held above this open level. Very key here. Let's see if they continue to make these puts work off of these open levels and off of our beast zone here. Obviously, we're about to get a different open level here in just 1 minute. So we'll see. But again, overall, looking for, we're already kind of getting this little bounce here at these squeeze bottoms. So let's see. You know, wouldn't be surprised if this morning we get maybe a little rally here, and then maybe roll over and die into the middle of the session, maybe towards the end. Switch around these two charts here. Alright, y'all, 30 seconds here. Hope everyone's ready. Get your water. Hope you got your coffee all ready. If you don't, then let's party. Ten seconds here, y'all. All right. So we've got tick open here, opening at about negative 900. As always, looking for this initial test of 0 here on tick, right? And what that interaction looks like when we get there. Pretty decent open to the negative here, to the negative side. Let's see if we start to put in a little H here on our indices and start to crack lower. YM already with a little bit of a crack lower here and pushing below this pre-market level. Immediate little bounce here though for YM. Wouldn't be surprised here to see some rotation like we have been seeing time and time again here at the opens, right? Especially here on a Monday morning, going to be very patient before jumping into a position, right? So already here we're seeing it, right? YM is catching a little bit of a pop while NQ is dropping a little bit, catching here a little bit of a pop once again. Ooh, but let's see if we start to get maybe a little team move here. Right, but very typical, we've been seeing this rotation here early in our sessions, right? They pop NQ, they drop YM, ES goes nowhere, right? And then they start to do the opposite. They start to pop YM, they start to drop NQ, and then ES still just goes nowhere. So So as always, being patient here at open, gonna let them get through this little bit of a slaughterhouse as always here in the morning. See how these contracts are doing here so far. Alright, so seeing here some of our calls opening just above our beast level, right? You guys always hear me stress this open level and our main beast zone right here. But not looking bad here on both sides either. I really like this 423 put opened up above our beast zone, immediately catching a little bit of heat here though on this little pop and cracking below our beast zone right here. So for right now, call's looking good, but again, not jumping into anything just yet, right? Many times we see, back up here a little bit, you know, we see strikes do this time and time again off of our beast zones here or off our beast levels, right? We'll chop at it for a while, pop away from it, come back and retest and make the move, right? This is really what I'm looking for here in a good trade off of our system. You know, let the move happen. Likely it's going to come back and they're going to do it again, especially here as we trade these 0-day contracts. Right, little pullbacks will bring them right back down. Right, and then we play it that second time, third time, hell, sometimes 4 and 5 times. Right, but typically that first one I let happen without me being in it. You know, I want to see it happen first. So just going to keep giving these contracts a little time to work here. Really let them prove themselves and see what they're made of. Alright, so starting to get here a little more rotation, right? YM lagging here on this far right chart. And NQ catching a little pop, right? Getting above here this point of control from September, right? First session of the month here. Obviously, I'm not updating my point of control just yet because it's only got a couple minutes of data in it. So right now and for the rest of this week as well, any point of control you see on my charts is going to be from the previous month, right? This is September, this is September. Something else I'm keeping an eye on here is VIX, here towards the middle right. VIX getting down to this 18 right here. Really want to see this interaction here on VIX at this 18. Right, if we start to bounce here at 18, this is a big level for VIX. You know, very likely we're going to roll over here in NQ, NES, and YM. Getting a nice little team pop here. Oof, right as we approach 18 on VIX. Little peak under 18 here. But wouldn't be surprised if we roll over here and catch this bounce at 18. Right, upside in VIX typically gives us downside in the market. Well, let's see here. Let's see what we got. NQ up here to VWAP. These white triangles that I have on any chart will be VWAP. Really nice pop here for the entire team. Nice little crack under 18. Not, you know, putting it in our rear view mirrors just yet. Well, let's see how we do here. Tick also getting up to 0 here. Might have us a little reversal as NQ approaches VWAP, right? We're at 0 on tick. We have a decision to make here, right? And VIX is also at 18. Could see a reversal here from all of these at the same time, right? Also, NQ is up here to our open range buy zone on our beast tool. Right, this half shaded zone here in red. Just because it's called our open range buy zone doesn't mean we're just going to get some upside gas from it, right? Any of our beast levels, any of our beast zones here can be both support and resistance, right? Just depends what side you're on. So we're up here testing our open range buy zone from below. It's going to act as resistance until we get through it. right? And we've also got VWAP right here, so going to be a tough little level to crack through for NQ. But it's been about 7 minutes. We're still in this opening volatility. If there's any time that we have the gas to just push through, it should be right now. Let's see. VIX still cracking a little bit lower. Like to see that. Let's check out our contracts here. So really like what I'm seeing in these calls so far, right? But still early, so not convinced in any direction just yet. But down to this 428 call, this little orange line down here. A little tough to see. Let me zoom this in. This is just low of day, right? Just marks it live here on the chart. And so this low of day so far right at the top of our B zone. So nice little bounce here out the gate, getting back above and getting close to this nice psychological level of a buck on this 428 call. Seeing some good strength here so far this morning. And getting up to our open range sell zone here on SPY, right? Again, we can see here, a little hard to see with the shading, but we have some symmetrical zones over our open level right here. So our open level is this thick white dashed line. We've got our open range sell zone here to the upside, and then symmetrical to the downside is our open range buy zone, right? These are our intraday zones that move with the opening print with price action. And looking up above to QQQ up here, making a nice little move above our open range sell zone, right? So here, if we're to continue higher, and we're at a key psychological level here of 360, nice little crack through for QQQ. But if we're to continue higher here, want to see QQQ on a pullback hold our open range sell zone, turn it into support, and then continue higher. Really nice run up here from QQQ so far. And just watching this 360 call, right, just like on the equity right here, I'm looking for price action to come back and get some support either at this open range sell zone or down here at this open level. You know, this is a 0-day contract, so likely QQQ pulls back to this open range sell zone here at about 359.5. The same time, probably this 360 call will pull back to its open level. You know, it's going to take a little bit more of an aggressive pullback because this is expiring today. But I'm totally okay with that as long as we try and hold this open level or our B zone, right? But most likely it might be this open level of about 75 cents. So if we're to continue to the upside here, I'm looking for an entry on this 360 call up here at about 75 cents at this open level. Right, and kind of a similar situation here for this 428 call. So starting to get that pullback here just a little bit, and not surprised, right? Again, we're at a key psychological level of 360 on QQQ. We're up at our open range sell zone on our Beast tool here on SPY. And again, looking over to like our internals, still not too far off from this 18 on VIX, little crack under it. Wouldn't be surprised still, right, as we get this pullback if we start to make moves back above it. And then on tick, right, we got that initial test of 0 and a rejection. And so I'm gonna bump up on puts here, right? Always looking to the other side as well, no matter what no matter what my thesis is here ultimately. So I'm going to bump up here to like, let's 358 put here on QQQ. Oh, and looks like we might be right at beast here on this 358 put. And I'm going to bump up to the 425 put here on SPY, right? This is one that we looked at pre-market. Had a lot of volume here on Friday. Ooh, really like this 425 put right here. Still a little early, been about 12 minutes, but I'm going to take a little shot here on this 425 put. Nice key psychological strike. We're at our open range sell zone on SPY. You know, if they come back down and test these squeeze bottoms, might put ourselves in a nice little position to go lower here. So for right now, just going to buy one contract right here at 44 cents. This is how I execute my trades here. I use Active Trader on the right. I customize right here my buttons. I removed all of the big buttons because I personally don't need that shit. And I have the auto send on, so I can just click in one side, I sell, I click in the other side, I get out. I can set take profits up here, right? You can see them on my chart as well right here, and you can move them around. Just drag, drop, it moves it for you. You can drag and drop it from the chart as well, moves it for you. And I can do the same thing with a stop loss. I can set a stop loss down here at 35 cents if I want. Both will exist at the same time. Right, and just like that, I have an OCO order, and you can see the link right here. But for right now, just gonna fly a little naked, right, as I'm just pulling information, and I have one contract here just to dip my toes. I'm in a one contract at 44 cents, right? Not gonna make or break me no matter what happens here. Just taking my time, right? So again, we are here in our beast zone, right? Looking for a bounce in this 425 put at our beast zone, and looking for SPY to reject our open range sell zone, which is this little zone right here. And so again, the point of this system is that I'm going to quickly know I'm wrong, or I'm going to get a pretty good move out of my trade here, right? But if we start to break above this open range sell zone, or let's say we crack above high of day right here, right, and then my 425 put here breaks below my beast zone, you know, I'm starting to get multiple confirmations that I should bail out of this trade. And here we go, starting to get the pullback just a bit here. Back up to my entry here, 44 cents. And just kind of holding at this level. So we're just going to hang out here for a little bit and see how we do. But again, you know, this just could be a little pullback to go higher. So I'm just going to be very careful here. It's still only been 16 minutes since the open, so I'm not really trying to rush into some size, right? But for right now, this little put is working. Ideally, I would have bought a second one while we were down here at 35 cents, but got caught up talking. That's all right. Still looking for a second one here on a little bit of an average down. So just going to keep an eye on that. But for right now, Q's pretty strong, right? Tech is pretty strong. Up to our open level here, though, on NQ, right? Our open level from last night here on the futures. Not a bad spot for a rejection. Let's see if they start to heat this thing up. And up to 48 cents here, right? Just a couple cents. And again, right, this is a small position, right? 44 cents. You know, I'm gonna look to get a second one here. If we pull back here on the put just a little bit, we got to keep these expectations in check always, right? Especially here with a small account, it's easy to get in for 44 cents and immediately expect a double, right? Because you're like, ah, that's just 40 bucks. I need some cash. But let's keep, you know, a real perspective on percentages and on moves here. You know, if I get in at 44 cents, right, I'm totally okay with getting out. You know, my next level above is 68 cents, right? That puts me at almost like 50% or so. So that's a great move. And you know, and don't expect much more than that, right? Ideally, you know, we have multiple here, so I am looking to buy a second one still, so I can maybe trim at 68 cents and then maybe run up that second one up to $1 or so. But again, got to be careful here. You know, as I'm looking to trim some gains on my put, I got to keep an eye over here on my call side, right? This 428 call down to this open level, right? Could catch a bounce here. If it gets down to our B zone, could catch a bounce here, which means we could catch a bounce on the equity, right? Just looking to these options contracts to see where they're driving this market. And we're still seeing this rotation, right? YM is still down here at its lows, even printed a tiny low of day right here. While NQ is holding up pretty decently. Small caps here falling off a cliff now. And we got that 4-hour squeeze below, of course. Still only been about 20 minutes here into the session. We have a lot of day left, right? And still just trying to gather information here from the market. So overall, looking at tick, right, we got up, rejected at 0, and we have not come back yet. Still kind of giving us, you know, some crumbs of some overall downside price action. Looking over to VIX here, VIX back up to 18. Again, we have another little decision to make here on VIX. If we reject here on VIX, we are going to likely catch a nice pop in the market and start going higher again. But VIX here starting to crack through 18, starts to rally off of this 18. We're going to have us a nice little downside move on our hands. And still just sitting a couple cents green here on my 425 puts. Again, just off my B zone, right? Really key part about our system here is being able to hold through some nonsense if we are to get some here in a bit. You know, it's really hard as an options trader to gauge what the value of a contract can be, especially as we get closer to expiration and we get some volatility in the market going back and forth, right? So this tool really allows us to stay in a position as long as we're just holding our levels, right? I'm not going to overthink it here. As long as we can hold our B zone on this put, I'm going to stay in this trade. And so again, you know, here on the pullback, right, SPY came back down to VWAP here, these white triangles. This tan dashed line I have here is the 5-minute 21, right? Got down to this as well and are near this open level. We have a nice little zone here of possible support, as well as this open level here, some possible support. We could catch a bounce here. But so far, liking how these puts are holding here at our B zone, right? This 358 put for QQQ as well has its low of day. Zoom in a little bit here. This faint orange line here just below our dotted red lower beast level is low of day. Caught a nice little bounce there and is holding up right at our zone. Q's with a little bit more of room to fall here as well. You know, YM starting to push low of day here. Really up into this 4-hour squeeze bottom. We could have us a little move to the downside here. Oof, definitely upset I didn't average down on this 425 put, but that's okay. We're moving here. 60 cents. And again, I wasn't quick enough to grab 2 here, but that's okay. You know, we're up to our open level, right? If we're trading a small account here, which I'm sure most of you are, this is where we're trimming, right, and into momentum. I don't care if I don't have 2, right? My account doesn't allow me to be risky if I have a small account. I'm taking this, right? Just made 20 bucks off of 44 bucks. That's up near 50%. Don't be greedy, right? Don't be greedy if you have a small account. You shoot for that dollar, right? Or for over a double, you know, 80 plus cents on 40 something cents. You might end up right back at your entry and never get that target, right? Take what's in front of you. Lock profits, because most likely, especially here on a 0-day contract, this is going to come back to my entry. And I'm going to do the same trade again, right? It doesn't matter that we're still going higher here. I got my piece and I got out, right? I made my lunch money. Likely, this will pull back again and I can have another shot on it. Right, this 428 call here now, deep into our B zone. Getting a decent pullback here, so I'm going to be wary here to jump in on the call side, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, right? Could totally catch a bounce here. Qs are still looking pretty decent up here. But getting that nice pop above 18 like we talked about, tick still here below 0. ADD down to our open range buy zone. So we could catch a little bounce here on ADD as well. But again, I'm not going to hop into the call side while ADD is literally pushing low of day, right? While tick has not tested 0 again. Though I do like the levels we're at for a bounce. It is possible. Getting a nice little bounce here on SPY now. Right, and then here you have it, coming all the way back down, not quite to my entry just yet, but getting close, right? 57 cents. My initial entry was 44 cents. You know, trading 0-day contracts and bag holding are just two things that don't really have that much in common, right? Got to be careful here. And ideally, the way we teach this system is having multiple contracts. So here, you know, if we are to continue lower here, I'm going to try to get into 2 contracts this time, right? So I can sell one again on my way up and then hopefully hold the second one for an extended move. And then obviously, depending on your account size, right, you just keep doing that with 4, 5, 10 contracts, whatever it is. And ideally for us, especially on decent directional days, you know, we just start trimming on our way up at any beast level that we hit, right, or at a trend line, or we have this trail line here as well. So again, still being very careful here. Got a little bit of cash here out the gate this morning. But I still don't love what I'm seeing, right? We still don't really have a true direction just yet. We are sitting on squeeze bottoms down here, right? Kind of in the middle now of these smaller time frame squeezes. So I'm not really convinced on any direction just yet. So I'm not going to get in heavy on either direction. I'm still going to be patient here because, again, it is the beginning of the week, right? Beginning of the session, beginning of the week, beginning of the quarter as well. Just going to give this a little time to keep unfolding here. Again, we get another test of 0 here on tick and a rejection. Right, staying near 0 though. Let's see if they start to try to work their way up above 0 right here, and at the same time try to start bouncing at our open range buy zone on ADD. Little pullback here in VIX at one of our beast levels, this purple dashed line. And coming back to this 18, again, having to make another decision at this 18. Let's see if they let us fall through it. Maybe punch low of day, and maybe we get a little bit of upside here in the market. Ooh, tick coming back up to 0 again. ADD with this little bounce. Maybe a little shot on calls here is not too crazy. Gonna bump up to this 430 call. Ooh, a little bit under beast, but a little cheaper here for you guys. Let's see. Up near its open level. Don't hate it. Maybe get one closer. This 429 call, ooh, has its open level right in our beast zone. I'll take a little shot on this here at 40 cents, 41 cents. Jumping to the call side now. Right, again, you know, I keep saying it here, not really convinced on either direction just yet, right? Especially seeing some rotation here from YM and NQ. Overall, they're just kind of trying to keep this thing parked. So again, I'm keeping my expectations in check, right? I'm allowing myself to play both sides. You know, I'm not biased to either side right now. And just taking shots here at key levels. Oh, and getting a little bit of a pullback here. Again, you know, small position here. Not going to make or break me. Just taking little shots here at key levels. Tick with another rejection at 0, but staying close, right? We still could get this reversal here. Liking this bounce on ADD so far at our open range buy zone. I'm even going to hop into a second one here, again, like we were talking about. Want to have at least 2. Come on, let me in. All right, I've got 2 at 40 cents. And again, just taking a little shot here, right? SPY cracked under this open level, but bounced right here near this 2-hour squeeze bottom and back above that open level. Oof, a little burst down here to a low of day print. So gotta be careful here. 10 a.m. y'all, 10 a.m. on the East Coast. Nice little bounce here. Getting me back above my entry. But it looks like we're gonna have us a little battle here. Oh, nice pop, nice pop. Really nice pop. Okay, okay. Getting a little wild here, so let's see. We got in at about 40 cents. Again, not looking to be greedy here. Up here near high of day again. Right, they have some decisions to make here at high of day. Do they allow a high of day print, or are they going to send us back down? Ooh, right up there at high of day. Let's see what these internals look like. Nice push through 0 here for tick. Really nice bounce here at our open range buy zone on ADD. And VIX again rolling over here near this 18 and printing a little low of day. But we have to be careful here as we get up, and we tapped VWAP here to the cent on ES. Stiff little rejection. Ooh, NQ though came up and printed a high of day. Love to see that. But still, you know, YM and Ruddy here just kind of lagging, so kind of holding back ES. So even though I got a nice pop here in my calls, a better move would have been QQQ, right? QQQ running a little bit more freely to the upside and showed the strength here early this morning. But we got a little bit of a data drop here at 10 a.m. giving us a little juice here. You know, hard to really predict these type of things, right? I got into this call just based off of my system here, right? Just taking a shot at levels that I liked, but no idea that we were going to get this pop, right? Absolutely no idea. And if anyone tells you otherwise, they're full of shit. But again, just giving myself exposure at the right times and at the right levels. So again, here I am up about 50% on these contracts, right? I'm not going to be greedy here. I'm looking to lock 50% in on that first contract into momentum. No problem. Boom, boom, 60 cents. But now I have a second contract which I can allow to run a little more freely. QQQ is continuing to pump here. Really nice here on this 360 call. Let's maybe move it up here to see what something else would have looked like. Oh, baby, this 362 call. Right off our open level, right out off of our beast bottom right here. Cheap one too at 30 cents. Clearing a double here and getting up to about 80 cents. Some really nice moves here. But it's all good. We're crawling here a little bit higher on our SPY calls as well. And we're pumping, baby. We're pumping. Let's see what we got over here. Ticks still holding up above 0, but pulling back a little bit. ADD getting back up to its open level. Love to see that. Nice push for ES through VWAP. Not running away from it just yet, but we're holding up here. Just need to see a little bit more love into YM. We can maybe have us a nice continued run to the upside. NQ here approaching 15,000. Also have this 15,000 right in our open range sell zone, right? Massive target here for NQ. Again, I'm trading here with you guys as a small account, right? I'm trying to keep all of my small account fundamentals at the front of my brain. So again, here sitting on this call, I'm up a little over 50% from my entry, right? My entry is a little bit lower now as well, 38 cents because I averaged down. I'm sitting here at about 70% on this contract. So my target here is going to actually be this 15,000 on NQ, right? For me to trim this other contract. And we're getting kind of close to it. So again, I want to sell into momentum, right? And I'm starting to see here tick pulling back a little bit, back to 0, still holding at 0, so still looking okay. But again, we're getting a little bit of resistance somewhere around here on the market. VIX also getting down here to some of our B zones. VIX down to our open range sell zone, right? But testing it from above, so VIX could catch some support here at this sell zone, then giving us downside in the market. ES pulling back a little bit to VWAP here. And my 429 call sitting here still at about at about 60%. Sorry. But again, you know, I've locked in some lunch money on the puts here this morning. Locked in a little lunch money here on the call this morning so far. So I can be a little riskier with this last contract that I have, right? Sitting up at about 50% on this call still. But I definitely won't mind if we pull back to my entry and I again buy a second contract. Right, because very likely we'll just do this bounce again if we do continue to get an upside move here this morning. So starting to get that little pullback here. Again, I'm looking to pick up another contract somewhere around this 40 cents, right? Somewhere near this open level. Seen a question in the YouTube chat. Question is, what if you are long on SPY like a couple weeks out? So here with our system is strongest on shorter expirations, mostly because those shorter expiration strikes get a lot of volume. So our system with a lot of volume collects a lot of data and gives us really lethal and accurate levels here. So typically we tend to trade here our predicted trades either the same day or the next day a lot, or we do play a lot of individual names here as well. I know I haven't called them out this morning, but we play the likes of, show you here, Apple, AMD, Amazon, you know, all these mega cap names. So we'll play the weeklies for these, and those are also really great trades off of our beast levels. But we tend to keep it pretty short in expiration here. You know, typically the farthest we go out is like the following week on some of these individual names. But also the market just being so volatile as it has been lately, you know, this is actually what we prefer. You know, when we get back, if we get back to those pre-pandemic days of just slow riding higher for weeks on end, then we will pivot to that. But as of right now, we're just gunslinging here in the Old West, you know? So still here, holding up here near these highs on ES and NQ. YM still just kind of lagging back here. We need YM for this upside move, but YM still looking okay here, holding this 4-hour squeeze bottom. And for anyone here watching my stream who is not a member, come on. Just wanted to show you guys real quick our squeeze clouds here. But overall, this is just a way for us to visualize, you know, the typical Bollinger Band study, but more in a cloud format and directly on our charts at all times. So here we can see, you know, I'm in a 5-minute right here, but I can see a 2-hour squeeze on my chart, right? I can see a 4-hour squeeze on my chart, and these are the bottoms right here. So if I'm gonna squeeze this a little more, you can see these are the tops. And so we see very typically, like up here, you know, we get to squeeze tops, you got a couple of squeezes here smacking you down, and then boom, you make a move to the bottom squeezes and back up. And this is something that we just very typically see with our squeeze clouds. And this is just another tool that we provide here at Predicted Trades. Again, if you are new to us, you can join our Discord for free via the link in this video and check out what we have to offer. All of these tools here are coded in-house. Got a bunch of tools here that I haven't talked about as well. But definitely, if you stick with us, you will continue to get new cutting-edge tools all the time, as our professor here in-house is constantly tinkering and improving these tools. Okay, so pull back here. Ooh, too much talking. Gotta jump in here. Man, got down to my entry here. Almost to the cent. Should have jumped into another one, but that's okay. I'm here, I'm watching, I'm ready. Though obviously I don't mind it here, you know, I just try to like average down typically. Just because on these 0-day expirations, you just get this volatility, right? So sometimes you end up chasing a move, like right when you think it's going to be made, and then you get smacked back down. So just try to stick to a couple common rules that I give to myself, like only average down, right? Or if I do average up, I just try to do it at a couple cents. But the reason for that is just because we get a lot of this, right? A lot of this. You know, I know that I average up trying to chase a move, and it just comes back down, and I get the entry I wanted anyways. I'm like, should have just waited a second. But also gives yourself more time to assess, right? You are typically stressed trying to chase up a position, trying to move into what you think is going to be a nice move right away. Typically, right, here we go, right back down again. And watching these puts still, right? I'm over here rooting for the call side, but gotta keep an eye on these puts, right? Look at this 425 put right here. Nice key psychological strike as well. Caught a nice bounce off our open range buy zone, you know, a little bit below our primary beast zone right here. But a really nice bounce here, right? As always, just trying to gather information off of our beast tool. So just going to keep an eye on this. You know, we could get a little H here and roll over, very possible, especially here off of this previous day's open level, right? Here's Friday's open level. Translates into a smaller white dotted line, which is perfectly stacked on our upper beast level here. So that's why it's kind of like teal and white at the moment. But if you look up here to this 358 put, you can see both those levels separately. Here's that previous day's open, these smaller white dotted lines. And here is that upper beast level. So again, both of these levels are just stacked here today on this 425 put. And oh, here we go, starting to get that move, right? And I'm a little red now on this call. But overall, still liking the setup here to the upside. Still above this open level here on SPY, so let's see if we get a nice little test of it here. But gonna take another little shot here on this. So again, I'm in here again with 2 contracts on this 429 call, right? I never let go of the one because I want to continue to have exposure in case we get another candle like this right here, right? I don't want to be out of the position completely, but I picked up a second one so I can again make a short play, right? I want to keep deploying contracts to make short plays so I can pay for the one contract I'm going to keep holding, right? So hopefully I sell 2 or 3 smaller contracts along the way here, and then that final contract I'm going to keep bag holding is going to be paid for. So if it goes to 0, I'm not going to cry about it. If it goes to 3 or 4 or $2, well, I'm going to party, obviously. But overall, I'm minimizing my stress, right, and not gonna let this total session go red on me, right? And still just looking around, right? I don't want to just tunnel vision on my call and on this SPY equity chart, right? I want to look up to like this 362 call I still have open on QQQ right here. Getting a nice little pop again on our B zone. And you know, very typically we see things like QQQ and SPY travel together, right? This is what happens most of the time. So if we're getting some support on the call side here on QQQ, I'm feeling pretty good about the call side on SPY as well. And coming over here to look at my internals, so still getting a little bit of resistance here to the upside from our internals, right? Don't love to see that tick is still mostly printing to the downside, right? Kind of really went in on this break to the upside, but here we are again trying. So I'm going to be a little bit more wary about my calls, right? A little bit pickier on holding them, at least that second contract. Same thing with ADD here. Got up, didn't even get to that open level and rejected back to our open range buy zone. Right, and again, VIX popping here, this time at our open range sell zone. So again, doesn't mean that my calls aren't going to work here, just have to be careful, right? Got to be extra picky. But overall, like I've been saying this morning, you know, we haven't really gone anywhere just yet. A couple nice spikes to the upside, but nothing too wild just yet. So I'm not going to be married to either side, right? I'm going to bail out of this if I need to. As retail traders, especially if you have a small account and a cash account, right, your biggest fear day to day is not just losing money, but also being out of firepower to continue trading. So what do? You let a trade go very red on you because you know if you bail out of that trade, well, then you're just locked in with that cash until the next day, right? So you're like, oh, I want to give myself a chance to fight here and keep this losing trade. But you're keeping a losing trade. It still doesn't make sense, right? Allow yourself to fight again the next day. But all right, y'all got me talking too much here, and I'm missing my trades. So my average here is 36 cents. Again, you know, something like 50% is a great trade, right? Can never scoff at something like 50%, especially if you're in a small position. Right, half of 36 cents, you know, you're talking like 18 cents, right? So I'm just trying to make 18 cents to the upside, which I know we were just there and I should have booked it, but that's what I'm looking for, right? I'm not looking for this to go to $1 and then me keep holding because it's just going, right? It has to be strategic here. I'm again just looking for about this 60-cent range or so to book one of these contracts. So again, I'm in at about 36 cents. We've had price action up through about 70 cents. Got some nice top of some candle bodies here at about 62 cents. Got up to Beast just now at 54 cents. Right, I'm just looking for something right around here, 60 cents. As we continue to bounce here at this open level on SPY. And so the idea is that we just keep doing this, right, until we break in a direction. And again, I'm fully prepared for that direction to go against me. You know, I'm seeing nice pops here at this open level, but we're also having troubles getting through this open range sell zone, right? This is part of our beast tool right here. So I'm just trying to get out of this little zone, right? I've got my bets on for the upside, but if we break to the downside, you know, I'm fully prepared for that. I've already locked in a couple contracts, right, to give myself some wiggle room. And if I have to bail out of the rest of my position here for a slight loss, that's okay. But again, you know, overall, got to zoom out here a little bit. A pretty chill start here to the morning so far, right? YM has gone literally nowhere. ES pretty much has gone nowhere. You know, NQ really the only one here with a little bit of a pop, and our small caps here with a little bit of a drop. Right, so I was not surprised at all to see that ES has gone nowhere. Continuing to keep an eye here on VIX, right, just under 18. Again, just like how SPY is stuck in that little zone between that open level, between this open level and this open range sell zone, right, we have a little zone here on VIX, 18, and this open range sell zone. You know, we're going to probably get a similar break, right? We might break out of this zone when SPY breaks out of this zone, right? I'm always just looking for little tidbits like this to help guide me in the direction we're going to go. But something I definitely love to see, especially here on our options contracts, I really love to see this open level stacking within our primary beast zone, right? I know that currently the call I'm in is just a little bit under it, but I like to see this price action here, right? We're just hanging on to this. So I'm just playing my probabilities, right? I still have no idea if this is going to work, but I'm in at a good level. I know my risk. I've already locked in some profits, so I got a little bit of wiggle room as well, right? I've removed stress from my trade by locking in a couple contracts. And so I'm just going to hang on here as long as we're above this open level and in our beast zone, right? Or staying close to it. And again, that doesn't mean that this isn't going to work over here, right? Because at the same time, you know, this 425 put is doing something similar, right? Hanging on to this previous day's open and hanging on to this beast zone. I really have no idea, right? But again, you could do a similar trade over here. 25 cents, up near 50 cents, back down to 25 cents here, back up near 50 cents, right? And we can just start to build both sides. Right, one side is going to break eventually to the upside, one is going to break to the downside eventually. You could have both sides paid by the time that happens. And this is just one way to use our beast system here, our beast tool, to trade options. Right, especially on these type of mornings. We've been getting a lot of these type of mornings here, where we just get rotation back and forth for a while before they go anywhere. Nice little push above zero here for tick. Like that. Again though, most of our price action on tick below zero, right? So I want to start to see this flip, right? I want to see tick start to just print some price action above zero. Doesn't have to be like positive 1,000. Just stay positive, right? Oh, and a little high of day print for tick. Love that. Little H here for VIX. Let's see if we flush our open range sell zone. And a little pop higher, baby. Let's go, let's go. Alright, so again, right, I'm in here on 2 contracts only on this 429 call. Right, I'm going to keep bag holding one. Going to just keep playing that second one. Got kind of close here, 57 cents. And back down again. But nice little pop here on the internals. Right back down on tick. See, this is going to give us a problem here for our calls, right? They keep smacking this back down. right? ADD, little bounces here at our open range buy zone, but just a lot of resistance. And this 425 put down to 25 cents again, and a perfect bounce. Right? If we get this again, I'll jump into this if we get this again. Gonna be a little more diligent here. I know I'm talking a lot, so kind of miss my exits and entries here. I'm just gonna throw them out here, right? I'll sell, or I'll put a sell here at about 58 cents. Right, I want to sell one of these contracts near 60 cents. I'm going to hop back over here and put in a buy at about 27 cents. So I got my orders out. Just gonna let those things work. Oh, nice rejection here in the dollar up at our destination sell zone. It's the highest zone on our beast tool. And just gotta continue to be patient here, y'all. Just gotta continue to be patient. Right? Still not married to either side. Still not going anywhere here, really. So just gonna keep continuing to collect on these little contracts until we get a break. Really hard rejection here in tick. ADD staring near this open range buy zone. Oh, and getting a little bit of a pullback here. Low of day on these calls. Right, but a little bounce here. And yeah, I wish I wasn't so slow here. Should have gone into this put. Really nice double here. Clear through a double off where I would have tried to jump in. But again, nothing tragic happening here just yet, right? Got down to low of day on these calls. Starting to catch a little bounce here. Right, I'm a couple cents red. But again, have locked in some lunch money here earlier this morning, so I'm not red on the day. And market not really flushing here. So I'm just gonna keep waiting. Wait to see if we get this bounce back. We got to be careful here, right? NQ breaking below our open range buy zone, going a little bit lower. ES down to our 4 hours or 2 hour squeeze bottom. And still just catching little bounces here. VIX, little gap up here on VIX coming up to 18. Another low of day print for tick right at negative 1,000. ADD low of day, but still here in our open range buy zone. So just got to be careful here, right? Again, my positions are small here. My position is small here. So I'm not going to panic, right? This isn't going to break me that I'm a few cents red. Nice little pop right back up. Nice little move on that 425 put down here from our open range buy zone. Still just going nowhere. Got some Fed speakers right now. Seeing a couple news blips coming through. And just getting confirmation here that Powell is speaking in about 25 minutes. Probably what we're waiting on here. Nice little rejection here on VIX before getting to 18. And just kind of crossing back and forth over my entry here. I'm going to mark my entry here on the chart so y'all can see 36 cents is my entry. Just a lot of waiting here. Big old waiting game. But not surprised, since we have Powell here in about 20 minutes. Probably going to be this for another 20 minutes, at least. But until then, just going to keep playing this little ping pong here. Honestly, wish I had been more diligent here and had started building up this side as well. I could have some paid puts on this side waiting for the break here, probably when Powell comes on. But still, overall, liking that QQQ is holding well above its open level, holding on to VWAP. Love to see that. And SPY still holding its open level. Right, these open levels are very critical. And still not loving this though, right? We're getting most of ticks price action below 0, even though we're holding up. And ADD just staying here at this low of day at our open range buy zone. Right, still, you know, of course a good chance for a pop and we just flip all of this. But just have to be careful here. Right, still really liking how this 425 put looks. Just have to continue to keep an eye on that. Just a waiting game here, y'all. Just a waiting game now. Really letting this thing get tight. Volume is still decent here all morning this morning. You can see up here until my party line. This line is specific for a 5-minute. All of my party lines here are specific to 5-minute. A little push lower here on Ruddy. I'm hoping though that we do get some upside, especially with YM here at this 4-hour squeeze bottom, ES at this 2-hour squeeze bottom. I want to believe in the pop more than the drop, but we'll see. Little fresh low of day for ADD. Right, not really going anywhere though. Ruddy dropping a little bit more here. also into this 4-hour squeeze bottom. This 429 call right here near this low of day. Don't love that we're getting under these levels here. Gotta be careful. Oof, coming down to low of day here on SPY. Low of day on these calls. But going to be a little risky here with these squeeze bottoms to the downside. Going to pick up one more down here. Bring my average down to 31 cents. Right, put this sucker down here. And see if we get that pop back. If not, I am willing to cut here very quickly, especially with that third one I just threw on, if need be. But going to give us a chance here to bounce at this low from Friday and at this 2-hour squeeze bottom on SPY. Right, and give these other things that are showing some possible levels of support a chance to support us. Right, this 362 call I've been watching right here to almost low of day, but down to this open level. Let's see if it can hang on. Q's here to this daily 8 exponential moving average and our open range sell zone. Let's see if we can hang on here. Right, we got Powell in 15 minutes, so not sure why they would break here to the downside before he comes on. Most likely just trying to shake a little bit of people out that are positioned to the upside before he comes on. Right, not going to let myself get got here. Wouldn't be surprised if we engulf this candle right back and just keep chopping. Low of day on tick here as well. But look at that pop back up here, right to positive. Yep. Let's see, let's see. Oh, and VIX. Where are we going, baby? Look at this crazy wick here on VIX. Down through 17 and then ripped right back. Very, very interesting. Oh, man. Some crazy candles here, some crazy candles. Starting to heat this thing up here a little bit before old Uncle Powell comes on. Right, we're right back here to my entry on these calls. Gonna kill my order here on this 425 put for now. You know, if we break to the upside, it's not gonna fill me. I mean, I'm sorry, if we break to the downside, it's not gonna fill me because it's already above my order. If we break to the upside, well then I don't want it, right? Because we're gonna be going against it. So I'll wait again. If we do start to pop here a little bit as we continue to linger and this gets close to this level again, then I'll put my order back out. But again, being very cautious here, right? We're still close to this 4,300 key psych level. Haven't tested it here this morning yet. Also below that is that 4-hour squeeze bottom, right? And as we can see, YM is down here at this 4-hour squeeze bottom. Ruddy is down here at this 4-hour squeeze bottom. Not outlandish to think ES could come down and test this 4-hour squeeze bottom. And again, you know, I'm putting some risk on this call side, but I'm not neglecting to see that this put over here looks great. Keeps catching little bounces at our B zone. This could very well be the trade, right? I have no idea. I have no idea. No one has any idea. And like I said, you know, I made the mistake, but I would have been a little bit more diligent about building this side and also being in this, right, as well as this one. But that's okay, right? We see this all the time. I will do it again later. But still liking what I'm seeing here on the SPY equity, holding this open level, QQQ, holding our open range sell zone, and VWAP right here. This 362 call on QQQ looking really solid here as well, right? If you prefer QQQ, this is still a great call to jump into, right? Even here now, almost printing a double here in just the last few minutes. Dollar up to high of day right here. And again, we got Powell coming on here soon. And many times we see, right, especially as market here waits for what Powell is going to say, they'll just rip this thing as soon as he starts speaking. So I'm going to be careful here, right? I've got 3 of these contracts in case we do rip to the upside, right? I want to start peeling some off, and if it's really fast, right, I'm going to have my order out here already. Right, I've got this order out here at about 57 or 58 cents, whatever it is, in case this happens really quickly. And again, I miss my exit, right, like I did here earlier. Especially coming from 30 cents, right, that's now a double. Pretty much a double up here near 58 cents. Nice push from tick here. Got up to almost high of day. Smacked right back down, of course. Keep seeing this. Still getting rotation here, right? YM with a little dip here. NQ with a little pop here in these last couple candles. Right, they're telling us that they're keeping it parked here so far. Still just sitting on my entry here on these calls, pretty much. Got a few more minutes here till he comes on. And again, by the looks of this, could maybe be a little reaction like we see at FOMC or something like that. You know, they're going pretty sideways here waiting for this. So likely after all this pressure has been built up right here, gonna be a hard snap here in one direction. Dollar printing high of day. Nice little pop here in NQ. Okay. But again, YM still just lagging here a bit. Right, this 362 call looking nice here off this open level again, right? And this is what I'm talking about when I say, like, I like to be patient and let the move I want to be in happen, right? And then let it happen again, and let it happen again. Right, did it out the gate here, first try, up to our open range sell zone here. Came back down to our open level, did it again. Back down to beast, did it again, and trying to do it again here. So again, when we get some rotation like we have been here this morning, I usually like to play QQQ better than SPY. Should have done it here this morning, but it's okay. End result is the same, still making some cash out here. A little bit higher here in the dollar, a little bit higher here in VIX. Right, pulling us down a little bit here, ES and YM. YM not looking super great here. Again, this 425 put looking nice off of our B zone. VIX coming up to 18 again right here. ADD sitting right at low of day here, a little bit under our open range buy zone. But just have to be careful here. Again, right, we're about to get a little economic event, right, with Powell speaking here in a few minutes. You know, they will throw all of this technical analysis here to the wind and just snap in a direction. And again, you know, I'm betting here on the call side, but no effing idea which way they snap this, all right? I keep saying it could very well be this 425 put that is the moneymaker here. I do like Q's here continuing to print some price action above this psychological level of 360, and at least just keep crossing back and forth through it. Right, so we don't have, at least at the moment, any big fish here at this 360 holding us to one side, right, because we do keep crossing through it. My call here getting down to low of day again. Oof, right at it. Gotta be careful here, but again, still staying above this low from Friday on SPY. Right, and we've got our open range buy zone down here as well, this green highlighted zone. Definitely some stress here on my calls, but again, still staying at a decent spot on the equity. And this is a 0-day expiration call, right? Like, I know this is going to happen, just like we could easily snap right back up. So just have to be careful here on these options, right? Got to be able to tolerate a little stress while the equity still looks all right. Little crack through 18 here on VIX. Gotta keep an eye on this, right? Overall, still mostly negative price action on tick. And ADD pushing a little bit lower. If we didn't have Powell right now, I would definitely be out of these calls and I would definitely be trying to hop into these puts. But again, I'm already here. I got a couple contracts of this call. We got Powell speaking here momentarily. We could get a rocket here in either direction. Hell, maybe even both directions. So just gonna keep being patient and allow this to play out. But again, so far this morning, I locked in a little money on the put side, right? I locked in a little bit of lunch money here on the call side. Still have a couple calls open, which have a good percentage of my total position paid for from my other plays this morning. So just gonna chill here, stress-free for now, and let this unfold. And we'll see what Powell has to say here. Getting a little bit of a pop here. VIX peaking back under 18. Tick peaking above 0 again. Oh, a little high of day print on tick. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy just yet. Alright, this call coming back up and reaching for my entry again. Keeping me in the game here. All right, starting to get a nice little pop here. And what I really want to see here, a nice pop from the whole team. Let's see, even while I am popping here a little bit along with the rest of the gang, Ruddy as well, right at this 4-hour squeeze bottom and right to the cent of last week's low. Right, I know this says week low, but this is still my level from last week because today is obviously the first day of the week, so I'm not going to move these around just yet. So this week low and this week high are for last week. So really love to see the little support right here on Ruddy. Peeking back above my entry here on this call, right, going green again. Got 3 contracts now. Let's see if we start to get this move here to the upside. Again, we could see a little turbulence here from Powell, so not going to be scared to buy a put here as we start popping up on these calls. Right, this 425 put has been good to us so far. Gonna wait and see what this looks like. Maybe we punch through low of day, maybe not. Right, up here to 40 cents on this call. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a snapback. Gonna take a little hedge here, 29 cents on the put, just in case. SPY up to our open range sell zone, right, and look at this frickin' call right here, up to 40 cents to the cent at our lower beast level and rejected. Right, you're not going to get this zone or these beast levels anywhere else but right here. And look at us here to the cent. Rejected that thing. And right back down. Gross. Let's see if they keep building this direction, right? And again, I'm in the put here, so I'm making a couple dollars here on the put side. A little hedge. Hey. Right, not going to be greedy with this. This is just a little hedge as we pull back right here. I'm going to take those 12 cents. I'm going to take them. That's cool. Right, my entry there was like 26 or 28 cents, something like that. You know, that was almost 50%. Right, you see 12 bucks, I see like 45% or so. So let's go. Right, the idea is that you take, you know, the structure here that I'm displaying today and just keep adding contracts, right? Just keep adding contracts. And that's really what it's all about, right? Just deploying each individual dollar that you have to make some sort of percent back. Doesn't matter if it's 10 cents to 20 cents or a buck to $2, whatever. See, still not sure if Powell is speaking yet. Let me see this thing. No, looks like he's not speaking yet. But it looks like they're starting to shake some people out, right? Really nice pop there. So those positioned to the downside probably just shook out a good amount of people just to bring it right back to VWAP right there. Right, still not going anywhere here. Nice pop up to high of day on tick at this positive 600. Right back to negative though. Liking this rejection though at 18 from VIX. Again holding our open range sell zone though. But overall still seeing these major future indices kind of moving in tandem here in these last few minutes, right? I want to see all of them pop together here. No more rotation. right? Or all of them fall together, whatever. But we're just over this rotation. Give us a move. Still just waiting here. Still just waiting. Looks like Powell is up on stage though, receiving some questions. We're just going to keep playing my same strategy here until we get the break, right? So watching this 425 put, if we get back down here again, under 30 cents, I'm going to pick up another one and just try again. Right? And just as I keep taking little dips under my entry on the 429 call, I can be picking up a put here and just trimming little bits of gain. Now, as time goes on as well, right, we have been here almost 2 hours and have gone nowhere, right? We've got Powell up on stage here, going to be dropping a little wisdom on us. So definitely expecting a move here during these lunch hours. Right, we've gone nowhere here for a while. Definitely expecting a move here pretty soon. Again, a little pop up here to my entry. Man, I'm just still loving how this 362 call has been holding up here all morning, right? Love to see this. There's some great price action here on this strike. Right, it just leads me to believe that they want to use this strike, right? They want to gain value out of this strike or out of the call side. But again, Powell just has to say one thing to fuck our shit up here, and then we're back at the lows, right? But let's see. Come on, baby, give us something. We're bored here. A little push higher here for NQ. Just need ES to get through VWAP here. Come on, baby. I know getting a little tough to see over here on my YM chart with my zones and this 4-hour squeeze bottom, but we are also battling right here with Friday's low, right? Struggling to get back up through this low from Friday. We did have a good push here recently, but let's see if we can really start to crack above this low from yesterday, get some support there. Should have us a nice little move to the upside here. Oh baby, let's go. QQQ or Q's here with a tiny high of day print. We do have this 15,000 to get through. Not going to be easy, but you know, Powell whispers the right words and we should just pump right through this. QQQ up here to its open level from yesterday. And getting up here near this 2-hour squeeze top. Let's see what else we have up here. Our destination sell zone and yesterday's high. So we have quite a target up here for QQQ to the upside. Right, we have our destination sell zone from our beast tool. This thick red highlighted zone. But stacked on there, of course, is our 2-hour squeeze top. And then we have the high of week, which was also Friday's high here. At about 363, nice psychological level as well. Oh baby, here we go, cracking through this previous day's open on QQQ. Man, and again, this 362 call here was honestly the play. But that's all right, we're making some moves here on this 429 call as well, right? End result is cash all the same, not upset about it. My entry here is 31 cents, right? We're starting to work our way up here, sitting at about 30% here, right? If you have a small account, again, this is not a bad place to trim, especially into momentum, especially as we're smacking here. This open level, got VWAP here, right? We're cracking into our B zone, which can act as resistance when we're approaching it from below, right? But we're starting to crack into it here. But a little trouble up here so far. Right, and again, our hedge is down here at a spot we kind of like. I'm going to take a shot on it, right? Not going to be afraid to take a shot on it. Hedge the other side here, right? Obviously, I am believing in this call side, but not afraid to take a little hedge here in case we do just start pounding price action the other direction. right? And I just pulled up this 360 put here on the other side of QQQ. And see, you know, this kind of makes it tough here sometimes, even with our system, right? This was a really good looking strike here all morning until the last like 5 or 10 minutes. Starting to crack under our beast zone. But again, you know, when both sides look great, just start playing that little range, right? 60 cents here to $1.20, right? We're talking a double here in this range. Not every hit is going to be a double. But if you're in here just trimming 50, 70, 40%, whatever it is, right, once you finally get here and you're wrong on that final contract or two, you're still green on the trade, right? You can cut this if need be, and you still had a good trade on your hand all morning here. So still haven't gotten any like key news blips here from Uncle Powell just yet. He is up there. Haven't muted, just reading here the blips that come out. Haven't seen anything just yet. Nice push here though above VWAP 3S, right? It's what I want to see. Can also see here, got a previous point of control from a while back, but still a great level. Little rejection right there. Oh, baby, an NQ starting to crack through 15,000. Let's see if we can keep this party going to the upside right here. Really loving this rejection here from VIX, right? Try to crack through this 18, starting to sink back down, again down to about 17.5 here on VIX. Besides this crazy wick here we got earlier, would be low of day on VIX. ADD still holding our open range buy zone. Again, you know, our beast tool here with a gold subscription gets you the tool on your internals as well. And just look at the interaction here after free falling on ADD to this open range buy zone, right? Had nothing else here marked as a level. Boom, right? We're getting the support at this open range buy zone. Nice push here for ES, a little bit higher. Alright, I've got 3 of these babies, so I'm going to start trimming here, right? 30 cents, 31 cents is what I got into. We're sitting at about 50% here, right? I'm going to trim one here into momentum. Taking a 50% gain on that contract, right? And we're still going higher here. Let's go. Alright, I have another sell still out here, a little bit shy of 60 cents. Oh, just smacked it, baby. Here we go, here we go. What did Powell say? Whispering the right words here to us. Right, and boom, automatically trimmed that contract. And now I've got one contract left here. And I'm just gonna ride this baby naked. See how far we can take this thing. Our trail line has now dipped down here and looks like it should be picking us up as well on this call. Let's go. And oh baby, the creme de la creme up here that we missed out on, but still love to see it every day. This 362 call. Man, look at the hold of this beef zone, this hold of this open level. Oh baby, and a crack through that open range sell zone, which we had some resistance at earlier. Man, this is just like what we want to see here at all times with our beast tool. And we see this pretty much every single day. Starting to get deep into into the squeeze tops here on QQQ. Let's check out NQ as well over here through that 15,000, and we are getting pretty close here to Friday's high on tech, right, on QQQ and NQ. Well, I am finally getting out of all of these clouds here. You can see it a little bit easier. Through VWAP, let's go. High of day on tick. Love to see that. ADD starting to pop up out of our open range buy zone again. Let's go, baby. And VIX down to its open level here from earlier this morning, right? We got 17 right at our open range buy zone, a little bit lower. Let's see if we tag 17. Nice pump, nice pump. Some very simple plays here so far this morning, right? Had a little bit of work here in that chop on both sides, right? Taking a little heat here on my hedge, but okay, you know, I'm only down like 10 cents over here, not worried about that. Currently sitting on this last contract on SPY from my entry at 21 cents here at about 60 cents at about 188%, almost 200% here now on this last call contract. And again, you know, I've used very small contracts here this morning, right? Contracts here that anyone can play with a small account, just 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents here and there, and making some good gains here. Up to some levels up here. Could see a little rejection here. I'm actually going to go ahead and get out of this position completely here. I'm just going to go ahead and lock up here at this 60 cent mark. Take my 200% and dip because I do have to wrap up my session here. Don't want to leave any open trades here while I'm not at desk. But a good look here so far. Again, would be very wary here as we do get to these squeeze tops. We could now see a stiff rejection, you know, especially from like NQ to pull this market back, right? YM is up to VWAP here. Could get a rejection as well. Doesn't mean we don't keep crawling higher here into lunch. But very likely we get a pullback here at this moment in time. Right, maybe a little bounce at VIX now that it's reached its open level. Right, they will re-rack here for a few minutes and then continue maybe the move to the upside. Let's see. But again, you know, definitely just really wanted to stress here this morning, playing small contracts like this, right? Especially with our tool here, it makes it much, much easier, right? I'm not panicking about, oh, this is going against me. Where do I sell? Where do I bail out? You know, I have all my levels directly on my option chart guiding me and keeping me in trades and keeping me out of trouble, right? And again, just want to stress that, you know, even with a small account, whether that be $500, $300, or $100, right? Come and trade with us with $100, and we will grow that $100, no problem, right? It takes obviously some good discipline here on your end, but it's very possible to do here with our system and with these small contracts, right? It's very possible to do this here every single day. Right? This is trading, right? You're not going to win every single day. Going to take days when there's going to be small cuts and you just have to deal with that. But again, we put ourselves into positions at great levels to put on risk so that we either boom to the upside, right? Or you take a small cut and you bail out, right? Like over here, I took my hedge at 25 cents. I'm just down 10 cents, right? Whatever. This can go to 0. I don't care. I've already made this times like 10 this morning. Right? And all using a couple bucks. I used like, I think under 300 bucks this morning. So yeah, anyone here tuning in that is unfamiliar with our system, please check out in the video description. You can join our Discord for free. Every Thursday, we actually provide to you a link where you can actually use our tool here on your chart itself. Right, every Thursday we do a free day in the Discord, so definitely jump in, stick around for those Thursdays. You know, we would love to help you print your subscription before giving us any money at all, right? That is ultimately our goal here. You know, we want to be able to help people grow small accounts under 500 bucks for an account, right? Up to whatever your heart desires, and hopefully we can even gain your subscription here before you join us, right? Ultimately, our goal is for you to make your subscription before you join us. And you can do that here on Thursdays. Every Thursday we do a free day. So please stick around, check us out. Jump in there with the link in the video description here below. But yeah, I'm going to sign off here for now this morning. I hope everyone had an excellent session with me this morning. Hopefully made a little lunch money. Hopefully you got to check out a little bit of our B system. I will be on again Thursday morning for our free Thursday, and I will be sharing my screen again, and then Friday as well to end the week. But alright y'all, I hope everyone has a great rest of the day. Keep an eye on these same contracts, right? These same contracts could continue to be the ones in play. And oh baby, going a little bit higher here on this 429 call. But alright y'all, I'm out. Stay safe and have an excellent rest of the day. Later y'all.